Hi there, Lori here, and I have been asked to make a video showing how I convert. So when you purchase templates or you have some freebie templates where you've gone to a site and you download the templates and they include ping files but no .page files, you can easily take those ping files and make those into a .page file for you to use. So I just want to show you briefly how I do that. First, I have a folder here, Southern Serenity, a challenge template, and there were no .page files with this particular one, but there were pings. So you can see all the pings in this list, and there's a preview down here at the end. The first thing I always do on a blank project, I have a blank project page here, is I bring over that ping file and I just stick it down at the bottom. This is the position that I like it to be in, and that is always where I put it. Now, I also always go copy the name of it, and then in my page I insert a text box, I move it over, and I paste in the name of that template, because I want to know the designer and the name so that I can credit it properly later on. From here, I'm going to make sure that I change the view. I need the view to be on details. And then with this, you can see that right now, this is the first ping, and this is the preview down here at the end. And if you click on the word name, it's going to flip so that the preview is at the top. And you're going to start with that ping at the back, and then use your shift key and grab this ping that's at the front and drag those onto the page. Now the reason you want to flip it like that is because you want the background to go to the back, and you want all of the foreground stuff to be in the front. Now, it won't always be perfect. I've found plenty of times that I still have to shift a few things back, but for the most part, it's going to place itself in a relatively good order for you, that you don't have to mess around too much. You can see that it's working. There's nothing I can do until it's finished working. I have to kind of hang here. I can't go work on another page. On my old computer, I had both Artisan and Storybook Creator 4, so I could click back and forth, and while I was converting in one program, I could be using the other program to be actually creating pages. But since I bought a new computer, and I've only got Artisan on it, I can't buy Storybook Creator again. I just have to sit and wait. So now it's done, and once it's done, I just minimize that out of my way. Now you can see all of these are highlighted. Everything you pulled over is selected. So I don't deselect anything yet. I go to Home, Align, and I go all the way down to the bottom, Center on Page, and it's going to shift them over and line everything up right where it needs to be. Then I go to Cut and Fill, and I go to the Straight Cutter, Straight Edge, and from here I just grab this and drag it off my page. If you don't drag it off, you're going to cut everything that you have selected apart. But when you pull it over, it does the same as if you were flattening each ping. Now the reason you want to flatten, and I've started it because this takes a very long time, so this way I can talk while it's doing its thing. But you'll notice that I didn't change anything here. I left it on its default, and I just said cut. The reason you need to flatten or cut these this way is if you see you've got this tiny little element right here and all of this white space around it. And if you didn't flatten these, when you save this file, it will be huge. It will be totally, totally huge. And it's because all these empty pixels out here still take up space. So it's really important just to have that element, and as these cut, you'll see that these little elements fill up the box and you don't have all that white space hanging out. So again, this takes a very long time. I'm going to just sit here a moment while it happens. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could talk about. Usually I will have a project that I call converting, and I will just convert all of my templates right in there. You can see I have many blank pages here that I can just pull onto. So we will let this go for a minute. Now at this point, you can see that everything's cut, and notice all these pings. They now fill that space. You don't have those stray pixels, and that will make it so that you can save this and it not take up so much space. Now what I usually do is I'll scroll down. This is the background. See that up there? And you can see that you've got several things underneath the background. So I'm just going to go grab all of those things, and I'm going to go to move to front, and they'll just pull them forward where they belong. So that's usually the most I find that I need to do when I have flipped those over, as I showed you back in the file. Now when there's a little photo mark here, I know I don't need it, and I do go to insert, and I take my insert frame, and I want my photo spots to be live. So I go to arrange, and I go to this key, this icon to make them the same size, this second icon to center them vertically, and the fifth icon to center them horizontally. Then I go to group, which puts it down at the correct place, and ungroup. And once I've ungrouped, if I look in my list and find that, I can now select that underneath part, and I can delete it out so it's not there. And you can see right now that it says drop image here. It's pretty obvious this is the place to put a photo. If you want it to look exactly like your preview, then I can go to cut and group, color, I can go sample that, and now it changes it, and instead of saying the drop photo here, your clue that it's live is your blue handle. So that blue handle helps you know that you can just pull a photo in. For the most part, when I'm converting for myself, I do not change the pings about journaling or the pings for a title to live text. What I do is I just, when I'm using this template down the road, I'll just insert my live text then, because generally these are just placeholders, and it's easy enough to insert your own when you're ready to do it. Or maybe I don't want any journaling on this page for some strange reason, and I don't need to bother with it. So I just don't save mine with live words. I always try to save them with a live photo spot. Thank you. Hope this was helpful. Oh, one other thing. You need to save this. File, save as. Now, before I do that, let me just show you. I go back, I grab the name, and I copy it. I go to File, Save As, Export Current Page. When you do this, it's going to want to save as a certain type, and I always go to .page. I am not a fan of having all these different types of page files. I just want a plain old .page. It works universally. So I am going to paste in my name, and of course I'm going to make sure I've browsed to the right place. I've got several template files several template folders, that might be listed with specific different designers, and then I kind of have a miscellaneous one. So I'm going to put that right into the miscellaneous one. And that's it. Take care. Have a great day. Thank you.